This young troll stands in his respite block. It just so happens that today, the 22nd bilunar perigee of the third dark season's equinox, is the day of this indicated troll's larval awakening, also known as his wriggling day. A night that stands out in infamy among the rest of the litter, mainly because of the fact that it really doesn't need to exist. Though it was 8 solar sweeps ago he was given life, and also 8 sweeps ago he was given a name, he decides to let you type an effortless insult into one of those plates that appears when you attempt to name someone. He can just sense that the tips of your nubs are perspiring with anticipation of such an idea. You both know you can't deny the appeal of this offer. Go on. Get it over with. Enter name. Yes, this is most certainly the greatest insult in the history of history. This guy congratulates you on how original you are for making an insult that is something even a Wriggler's undeveloped think pan could easily conjure up in a matter of seconds. Alright, this guy's allowing you one more chance not to ruin this, though he highly doubts the odds of said chances are in his favor. Try again. What do you know? He was completely right. In fact, he was more than right. That was even worse than your original attempt. How was that even possible? Let's just move on to identifying his real name before you embarrass yourself any further. Your name is Arkjek Vurat. As was previously mentioned, it is your wriggling day. It is not really something that you feel needs to be celebrated, and everyone knows that already. Nobody tolerates their wriggling day since it brings across too many shattered memories for anyone to bear most of the time. Despite that, you know there is always a remote possibility that someone could have the distasteful intention of bringing it up in a conversation as if it is a good thing. That's not very common at all, but you still never know. Unlike most other trolls your age, or even trolls of an earlier age, you don't have a large amount of hobbies. Not every troll around can end up being some sort of prodigy. Not to mention, the few things you are interested in aren't exactly considered productive means of time usage. You could even say you're quite lazy most of the time. In the past, you liked reading stories of masked vigilantes and watching copious amounts of 2D fiction. This used to lead to some scribbling, but you really aren't all that interested in doing those things anymore for unspecified reasons. You also enjoy drinking Mountain Dew Code Red quite frequently. In fact, you enjoy it so much that you might even be able to label it as an addiction. You don't take much part in talking to your 11 other friends, even though they take part in talking to you constantly on the new chat system Scorp. Yeah, there really isn't that much more to say about you. Your troll tag is animated humorist, and while your screen name and quirk are sort of really awkward now, you've left it alone. It also manages to be hypocritical considering the fact that you speak in a rather serious tone most of the time. Right now, you don't have anything you really need to be doing. You should probably start to do something, though. You're getting tired of just standing in this spot and blankly staring at the other side of the room. What will you do? Arkjek, pick up all of this trash on your floor. If you're referring to all the cans of Code Red, then you would be completely mistaken about them being trash. If there were levels of how insanely wrong you are about the soda, you would be on the highest level of wrong. You're wrong in every sense of the definition, of which there are many. You are wrong so many times. The ones laying down have been haphazardly tossed back as you finish them. The ones standing up are finished too. Actually, but you have left a couple marinating there for quite a while near your desk in case of some sort of hurried caffeinated emergency. The balls of paper might be trash though. Maybe you'll pick them up when you feel like it. Maybe. Arkjek, look at posters. You used to think that these two were some of the biggest badasses who have ever not lived. Batman and Deadpool were your two favorites back when you were younger. You haven't read any sort of issue from either one of their series in a very long time. Around 2 sweeps ago, to be more specific. You always used to fantasize about how great it would be to have powers or a special array of technology as great as theirs. It really wasn't a well-planned aspiration. It could never happen, because this is real life. And that's not how things work in the real world, which harbors real life. Though while you gaze at their tightly suited splendor, you begin to once again wonder what things would be like if you somehow acquired the power to always miraculously live if you were brutally murdered, or even fly. But that's all in the past now. Why you still keep these up, you have no clue. Arcjek, stack up Code Red cans and plow through them like a skull titan. Not going to happen. You can't believe you even thought about that. Despite how fun it may actually end up being, you can't afford to be silly right now. Meandering around your block and looking at all of your old junk is obviously much more important than your own entertainment. Arcjek, overdramatically turn and glare at the picture on your dartboard. You begin to slowly rotate your head to look at the appalling printed-out box on your dartboard. Where should you even begin with this abhorrent monstrosity that some would dare to call food? That's a large exaggeration away from the truth. A detestably enormous one. Vast, even. Usually, food can at least be choked down, even if it's disgusting and slimy. Your species has an affinity for that sort of consistency in the first place. But if you tried to eat one of the Lunchables mini burgers, or pizza and treatza whatevers, there would be vomit all on the ground. It would be incomprehensible how much vomit there actually was on the ground. You would barf out every last organ you have lying inside of you. You're getting tired of looking at that picture of it on the dartboard. It's not tired of looking at you, though. It never is. You're just going to have to show it who runs things around here! Nice shot! You have effectively shown it who runs things around here. It should know better than to try to challenge you, but you are aware that it'll always stay pinned there, staring at you, awaiting the next battle, prepared time and time again, certain of its defeat, but triumphant and persistent enough that it thinks it'll get past you with so much as one more dart in its ugly mug. In a specific kind of way, you feel it always has some form of victory over you each time you two duel. A shallow yet painful victory. It holds the pleasure of having already beaten you, but it is too modest to let you know. Not that you actually took the time to throw anything. That was all in your imagination. Arcjek, look at the book on top of your thermal hull. It's really nothing worth looking at. There's no need to go back there. Something happened. And just what could that be? Whatever it is, it totally almost turned off your inner monologue. Can you believe the nerve of some trolls out there? I mean, seriously, what is up with this society? They think they can just do whatever they... Okay, monologue restored. You can go investigate now. Arcjek, investigate Plink. After a very thorough and intricate peek at the scenes, you've come to the conclusion that the Plink very much means death. Arcjek, scream. Ah! Ah! Arcjek, get up and hide under your desk. Arcjek, get interrupted from hiding. Oh, so close. Phase 1 was complete, screaming and running around anxiously, the only logical start to any brilliant plan. Phase 2, the final phase, was going to be hiding for several hours and pretending as if you were already dead. This is an act you can actually put on, but at this point it's not needed. You're feeling dead enough as is without giving in to the whims of any zany spur-of-the-moment ideas. Plus, it appears that one of your pesky chat fodder buddies has been patiently lying in wait for a response you were elated to not have to give. There isn't anything stopping you from keeping silent, but as we've seen, things only get worse when nothing is happening. Given that your untimely demise is now suddenly imminent, you suppose it wouldn't hurt to have someone attempt to remember you fondly, could it? Even if it has to be this windbag. Arcjek, examine computer. Before you answer, you take a short moment to move the junk off of your desk, grab your keyboard, and examine your computer. You spend many lifeless hours sitting here and doing nothing. It's actually pretty great. Until something happens. And then it isn't. Much like the rest of your spaces, you keep your random folders containing a lot of old pictures and files around wherever. You make sure to cover the screen so that you don't ever have to see them. This also doesn't help with the fact that over sweeps of not caring to safely browse for objects, you have accumulated a number of nasty viruses. You get fake advertisements for products you didn't win on a nearly constant basis. The Scorp chat client is open. It's the new standard in conversation technology until the next thing comes. The entire system is laden with its fix of complicated strings, broken code walls, and a completely whack update schedule that doesn't seem to affect anything one way or the other. The draw is that, even for being clunky, it is rather customizable towards the user's intents. It allows variations on online statuses. Cloying, forstraught, calcitrant, and incognizable are the 4 regular settings, but there is an array of more abnormal emotion-like settings if you're really into sticking out from the already obtrusive crowd. Each Scorp user is also able to decorate the program with various alternative themes. Each one relates to a number of varying colors, fonts, and hobbies, even ones that are obscure. Anything you would think would exist or be chosen, it's there. But seeing as you have none of these, you keep the built-in systemic stock theme. You are set on calcitrant at all times, and have the system set up so you aren't forced to hear the unruly din of a ping with each message. It also delivers a blunty professional note to any and all parties who attempt to contact with you. Though, as always, that doesn't deter this one from chatting it up with you, or any of the others for that matter. This is one of the better times to give in, as this will be your last chance at giving a good impression on the grounds of social interaction. Only it won't be. Arcjek, answer troll.
Hey!
Animated humorist, AH, isn't here. He isn't. He's gone, and it says not to bother him right by his name. The red dot, whatchamacallit. You know the one? Of course you do, and you message him anyways. What is wrong with you?
Man, I know you're there. You, literally never go anywhere. At all. Ever. Psst. Psst. Gonna run out of breath. Pisting you. Psst. There I go. Come on. I got a real important question for you. You can't just do me like this.
I'm pretty sure I not only can do that to you, but pretty much almost always do that to you.
Oh, good. There you are. I was starting to get as sad as you normally sound. Woof.
I think my next text will continue to speak for itself here. Do me a favor and imagine an absurdly dragged out and coarse voice for this situation. That voice will be me.
Alright.
Now imagine that same voice over my words. And then imagine as soon as you're done with that this same rasp is much less streamlined, and that my stress center is about a hearty throb away from blowing off into your general direction and promptly thwapping your face with a load of general common sense as this sentence runs through your blank canvas of a mind with this next sentence. Ahem. Leave me alone. I'm about to die. And I don't want my final memories to be of your short-spoken, minimalist lung detritus.
Okay, but what about my important question? Because, it's pretty important.
It falls in line with short-spoken minimalist lung detritus. Maybe with a little more phlegm and a rugged cough to go with it. Who knows? With you, there are infinite possibilities. Which is to say, there are sparingly few, and you are as one-dimensional as they come. Take a lesson in character development before you decide to say something that's supposedly important to the big things you're playing up.
Yeah, alright, Drama Squirt, that's great and all, but Arcjek, listen.
What?
Listen.
What?
Listen.
What?
Me and UK need an extra player in our game. You should play with us.
That wasn't a question. That was a statement. Also, what game?
Anthropor Municipality. What other game would I be talking about?
That polygonal mess of... Okay, here's the thing. I'm not gonna join you, and also, I don't care about you wasting your time, because I'm placing my time and my worries into my life, and how it is about to get tragically cut short. By the way, the only, and I mean only, reason I even thought to give you anywhere near this long of a response, instead of a curt, howdy fuck off, is because I need someone to bear witness to this.
Oh, are you serious?
I would say I'm dead serious, but I'd be way too right for my own good.
I thought you were just being your usual, over-the-top self. The typical pain and suffering, you know? But if you are actually totally honestly serious, you should tell me what's going on. I may live in the dark, but that doesn't mean I like being left in it. Woof.
I don't even know. There was a foreboding death-cloaked figure who threw a sediment nugget at my window, and I saw them for the span of a nanoblink before they were gone. I was trying to be professional and hide under my desk until you decided to be the obtuse disturber that you are. Part of my splattered life pigment is going to be on your hands now, and I swear, if they're adhesive coated, that it's going to become acidic.
Well, if I don't hear from you again soon, I'll go ahead and assume you're dead. And I'll be sure to come by and collect your body if it's still there. Make something nice out of it. No guarantees, though. If whoever's chasing you wants something to do with your corpse, I can't really help you.
Perfect. That's the most perfect thing you have ever said to me. Do me a favor, though. I know for a fact that it's not P.O., but if I do disappear into obscurity, tell her that the mutilation fairy finally granted her long-awaited wish. But I'm leaving you now regardless. Bye.
Sure, but one more thing. Real fast. Do you have any glue?
No. And if you knocked off the rolling around in it, then you might get to keep some handy.
Damn.
Arcjek, check out the window again, just to be sure. This is going against your better instincts, but the curiosity is simply maddening. Balling up under your desk won't be satisfying if there are no threatening ends to your hiding means. Still, the Plinkster couldn't just disappear like that. Right? There is nothing there. No! That isn't right! Disappearing like they did isn't feasible. It doesn't work that way. Where are you? Come out wherever you are. Ollie, get in plain sight. You don't care if they're here with the intent on maiming or rocky assassination attempts anymore. You just want to know what's going on. You just want to know why. Take this kiss upon thy brow, and in parting from you now, thus much let me avow, you are not wrong, who deem that my days have been a dream. Yet if hope has flown away, in a night or in a day, in a vision or in none, is it therefore the less gone? All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. Does it matter? The world turns slow yet infinite. Time runs along in tandem, though it never seems to bring anything concrete with its constant aging process. Day by day, night by night, moments begin to replay and blur in your mind. Banshees wail in the distance, expressing their distress at the ill intent midnight drags with its inevitable presence. Black and white moons illuminate the torment seared into their hearts and minds. Fate seems to linger, regardless of significance or hapstance. Life wasn't always like this, but part of you wishes that it was. The burden would be much easier to bear. Another part of you begs on hand and knee for the old life you once knew. The one you constantly feel still exists. You're not sure if you yearn for it because you want to relive the moments you've lost, or if you just want the casualty to stop breathing down your neck. Wishes don't solve problems, and wanting them only makes the dilemma more prevalent. Change seldom comes to you. Perhaps this will be the evening when you finally gather the motivation to take a step forward and find the adjustments you've been looking for. A lone thought sticks in your mind in spite of this. With regards to the concept of your life and the monotony it shares with the world surrounding you, you have a feeling that change is never going to come.